It's Halloween, and you know what that means? Vampires, scurrying around all over the place and trying to get ya. You're relaxing? They're in the bushes. So instead of wearing that stinky garlic necklace or lugging around that heavy wooden stake, try Flavors of the Forest Vampire Repellent. Just sprinkle a little on your food before venturing outside, and those bloodthirsty undead are sure to run the other way. Flavors of the Forest Vampire Repellent. Bite back at flavorsforest.com/vampire.
For flavor beyond this realm.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep end of the pool, set up the mood. Paranoi Radio, set up the mood. Paranoi Radio, set up the mood. Paranoi Radio, set up the mood. 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 Set up the mood.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make deposits into the bank of knowledge. Welcome back to Paranoi Radio podcast, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Trebles Garcia. And I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today. And I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube today, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. I had to say that 3 times. Like, share, and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing that you could do for the show today is word of mouth. Check us out at ParanoidRadio.com, which will change in the near future. I'm going to divert that money and move it into better quality stuff to use in bed like StreamYard or Restream and have a better presentation for all of you guys. So the hub will be getting discontinued very, very soon, and everything is going to be pushed onto Linktree because it's freaking free. Why not? And the interaction there, guys. I mean, if I want to promote stuff, that's the place to go. Also, I have an amazing episode lined up for an amazing crowd, amazing listeners like you, with an amazing special guest. I want to jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the freaking mood. Please give a warm welcome to Rebecca Keating. Keating.
Thank you. What an introduction. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Very grateful to be here.
You are not only an incredible mouthpiece, knowledgeable person with a lot of wisdom, and a presence on Instagram. Your Instagram videos are out of this world, off the wall, a little paranoid like the show, and you come from a different angle. I love it. It's very entertaining, very interesting, and I myself consider to be not the normal Christian. Like I was telling you before the show started, I came in looking for conspiracy theories and came out walking with Jesus next to me, right? And I feel closer to him every single day, even closer. I believe this in my heart because I come from a Protestant area. When I was a child, I was a devout Christian. I feel closer to God now that I'm doing it by myself at my pace, rather than following other people in their own religion and doctrines. Not to bash on anybody. Quite frankly, I'm going to tell you something. If you guys are happy with where you are going and assisting and congregating, I'm happy for you. If you're coming out of that building with morale, with higher, better values, and a better person with an intimate relationship with Jesus Christ, then it's 100% where you belong. I am not here to divert you. I am not here to tell you how to read the Bible. I'm just here to tell you, #look it up and read it for yourself. Now, before we even jump into the topic, please let the world know where they can find you.
So they can find me on Instagram. It's Rebecca LL Keating. And I also have a link tree that I can probably give to you. People can find me through that.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be in the description of the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's get it done. All right, Rebecca, you have some videos on your Instagram account that shook me. First of all, I am scared at the same time, but also very, very happy and proud to see that you survived some of the most nasty spiritual attacks I've ever seen. Reptilian, you encountered one. How did that happen? Please break it down for us.
So this was my first reptilian encounter. I have had quite a few, but this was 9 years ago. And I was in the movie theater with my partner, and we were getting our tickets and standing in line, and we were just having a great time, joyful, being in love, just doing our thing. And I noticed from across the massive movie theater that there was this woman from very far in the distance who was giving me the scariest death glare you've ever seen. And I noticed it because I could not notice it. She was with her husband and her 2 kids. And I was like, why? I even said to him, I'm like, why is this woman like hate me so much? Like, I don't understand why she's looking at me like this. And just kind of carried on. We ended up being in a lineup to get our tickets because the machine wasn't working. And as I'm standing in the line and I'm facing my partner, and there's like what's it called, like a rope here, that people are walking by, and we're standing in the line, we're facing each other. Her kids pass first, her husband passed first. As she passes me, just like this, we look at each other like this, face to face. Her eyes change, her mouth changes, her tongue comes out and into like a reptilian slither, and she hissed at me right in my face. And
Get out, dude.
I couldn't even make it up, even if I wanted to make it up. And I literally, my automatic reaction was to hiss back at her. I just hissed right back in her face. That was like, that was like my knee jerk, like unconscious reaction.
Yeah.
And by the time that happened, obviously my partner was right there. He saw it, he heard it. She kept walking. And it was so strange because it was like her family was right there, but it was like they were veiled, because how could they not have heard it, seen it? But it was like they had no clue that had even happened. I knew of reptilians at that point journey. I was aware they existed, but I never thought that I would actually, come face to face with one in a movie theater and get hissed at. Yeah.
The fact that you said that you hissed back makes me think you're a reptilian. I'm playing. I'm just saying, dude, first of all, I'm sorry.
People have rented a video, they're like, she's a reptilian.
I have to admit, we live amongst some of the weirdest people, and we live in the times of revelation. I'm telling you right now, I believe that story with all my heart. The reason I believe that story is not because your delivery was strong or no. It's just because I've lived through that. I've seen it now for myself. I've sent this countless of times. I know you guys are pretty tired of that. And I know you guys don't believe me, some of you guys, that was one of the main reasons why I went into that deep dive of the Olmecs and the liquid crystal glass that I told you, the technology that I was telling you through the messages. So yeah, I seen the ALF, I had my experience, and I feel that maybe that happened. It wasn't an aggressive action from him or anything, but I think that happened to push me on to a negative route. Maybe check out the dark art, or look more into me, and then be provoked to hurt other people, or continue asking for my revelation so that I could keep manifesting with you and teach you secrets and give you knowledge, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know where my life would be if I would have gone to a negative route. But the fact that you walked by her, she hissed at you, and no one saw but your lover, that's hardcore to believe. Her family must be either in a trance, in a different frequency. I am not sure what's happening here.
Yeah. And it was crazy because I could tell from, like I said, like way before that encounter, from seeing her, that she just couldn't take her eyes off me. Like, she hated me. And I was like, why is this woman hating on me so much? So I still don't know to this day why she hated me. I mean, in the work that I do now, I do a lot of work with reptilians that are harassing people. So maybe she could foresee that I was, going to be dealing with them. I don't know.
Did you have any experiences that's coming up? Are you connected? Do you have a source? I want to say basically, are you gifted? Do you have any type of spiritual talent?
So, I mean, the core of my work that I do is I work with demonic stuff. I work with entities and demons, people that are being harassed. I call myself the demon slayer because that's what I do all the time. I work with God and I work with Christ, and I know that's why I have the authority to do it. There's no other reason why I would not have the authority other than through God and through Christ. So
I love that. Okay.
But that's what I do. I mean, I do many things. I have a lot of different things that I do, but the core of my work at this time that I've evolved into is pretty heavy, heavy work in the quantum field, and doing timeline work and whatever God leads me into.
What do you think they are? Do you think they're data? Do you think they are in the quantum, in the field, in a different frequency?
I think they're in a different frequency. Yeah. I mean, some are among us walking, some are here embodied in human form or different forms, but I also some of them are also interdimensional. Definitely. Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, I was telling you on the DMs, and I presented this on a couple of different shows where liquid crystal technology has been applied and used on a military level, but it also has been introduced to the military by these entities, fallen angels, dark energies, the kingdom. I have this whole. I'm trying to do a deep dive on why I think that trees are portals, and I started thinking, well, Satan rules the air. That's his kingdom. That is his domain. Funny. That's his frequency. That's where energy travels from the ether, right? I'm like, okay, well, where do we go to apply for a website, or how do we purchase a website? You have to buy a domain. Where's the domain? Where is it? Where does it get stored? In the cloud, in the atmosphere, in the ether. Wait, I'm following the traces here. So that's his domain. That's his kingdom. He's the ruler of the air in that frequency. And we are already worshiping the internet. We're already worshiping these digital platforms and these influencers. And what is he? The king liar. He is the author of lies. The 1,000 faces, the last airbender, the dragon, the destructor. Everything is through here. I'm like, oh my gosh. He's been presented to us through the digital world, and I'm looking at it as I'm now thinking that we are in Revelations, and that he, AI or whatever you want to call it, he
Yeah.
is, yeah, already manifesting, and we are feeding him what he desires and what he needs to come out.
I totally believe that. Yeah. You went down the rabbit hole there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little nuts. Man, it happens. Yo, so encounter with a reptilian, and then I started flipping through your Instagram. Guys, I really want you to go check out her Instagram. That I am emphasizing her Instagram. And if you have a YouTube, please send me that too. All of your content. I was flipping through her Instagram account, and then I seen something that also, dude, an insectoid. This is the first for the show. Tell me more, please.
So, yeah. So the insectoid one, I was at the Dublin airport on a layover, and I knew of insectoids too. This was about 4 years ago. I knew they existed. Like, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm pretty aware of all the different things, and but I don't study it or anything. I was just
Mm.
aware of them. And I'm sitting there at a layover having some food, and this woman who was at her gate walked by multiple times because she was at her gate. She was going to the washroom back and forth. And you could tell that she was from the insectoid faction, because more the praying mantis faction, and they exist. And I just knew right away by looking at her, by the way her face was, her body structure. She had a very non-human, I'm not body bashing or anything like that, but her body was not human. Her structure was not human, and she wasn't hiding it. She was wearing like tight clothing so you could see, and she was from the mantis. I mean, since then I've seen all kinds of insectoids, but that was my first time seeing like the praying mantis.
I am going through a small lag here, and I apologize, guys. I will be editing this part out. I'm sorry. It's just a small lag. I'm trying to get you back. Come on, it's not the time to break. We had a great combo.
Oh, there.
Are you
You there?
back? Yeah.
There we go.
Why is it that we're talking about insectoids and reptilians, and then this starts happening? Weird. And she's gone again. Turn this in.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you chopping in right now, but your thing is still frozen. That is weird. Message her. That was definitely weird, and we are still recording. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do, 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 do.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Well, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I want to say that it was Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi connection, and a lot of people are gaming right now. I want to say that, but I also, my interior wants to say that you're getting too close to the truth and they're knocking us off.
Like interference. What the heck?
You gotta intercept that message. Guys, I'm still going to freaking put it out. All right. Whatever, Wi-Fi gods. Insectoid. You said she was part of the Insectoid clan? Wait.
Action.
Faction. My apologies. I stand corrected. What does that mean? There's other factions?
So there's different factions, and hey, I am not an expert in this. Like, I know there's people out there that probably know all the different factions and things. I just knew that there was different factions of different types of aliens or reptilians or species. And there's a praying mantis faction, and that was her. I mean, it was undeniable. I just knew, like, I could see it. I could see it in her bone structure, the way her face was, the way she moved her body. Yeah, they're walking among us.
Guys, this is I want to say the half portion of the show. And again, I want to suggest that you guys look her up on Instagram, check out her content. It's going to be on the description of the show. And this episode, Listener of the Week, tuning into the frequency, being part of the frequency, being the frequency, is dedicated to at Napish Tim 1. Napish Tim 1. You're watching on YouTube. I want to thank you for your engagement. This episode goes out to you. Thank you so much for being part of the frequency and listening to Paranoi Radio podcast. Now, back to the show. Yo, that's nuts, man. That's crazy. Factions. Do you think that they are, from your knowledge, you're the expert in this room right now.
Yeah.
What, are they all bipedal? What other factions of animals are there? We're thinking about the mammal ones, right? Now you have insectoids, you have reptilians, you have bird-like ones. Like, this is nuts, man.
I believe there are like different like types of avian. Interestingly enough, I didn't know about grasshoppers, but apparently people are gonna think they're gonna like everyone, they're gonna say I need medication, but apparently there's grasshoppers, like factions. And I'm not even joking. Like, I had just read about them probably a month ago because I was looking at the other one. And because someone said that the mantis ones were really evil, which I didn't know that. So I read about it, and I had just read, oh, there's a type of grasshopper one. I was walking and I literally passed one, and I said to my partner, same one, he's been there, everyone. I said, we just passed a grasshopper insectoid, like, without a doubt. I'm like, and I'm not crazy like that. I don't think everyone is something, but I was like, this lady was a grasshopper. I literally looked down on the ground, and I haven't seen a grasshopper all summer. And there's a grasshopper right there on the ground, like an actual grasshopper. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not an expert. But I know there's different factions. They're out. The people can read about them. They're among us, and you can when you start to see more with your vision, I think you start to notice that there are different types. They look like humans, but they're different races. Like, they're different. They have much different bone structures, facial features. They come from completely different cultures, but I don't think we know how deep the rabbit hole goes on this one.
Let me ask you something. This is interesting that you said features and cultures. Like humans, right? We have different features, different cultures. I have an elevated cheekbone. My parents come from the deep forests of Central America. People look different around the world. Where do they come from? Do they, in this truth movement within the conspiracy world, we have people that are flat earthers, simulators, holographic earth. We have the Bible thumping Christians, and then you have the Bible thumping Christians that entertain the idea of conspiracy theories and all this other demonic stuff. I'm one of them. I want to say we are freaking weird here, so don't ever feel left out. We're here together. This is the crazy ship. However, so two questions: are they all bipedal? Do they all look like us? Do they all balance on 2 feet? Do they all have thumbs? Or what makes them like us? Just their intelligence? Where do they come from, dude? These are under the water, hollow earth. I mean, these are questions, valid questions, man. I don't,
Yeah, they're very valid questions. I mean, I don't know where they come from. I think they come from I think they're aliens. They're species of aliens among us that have been here for a long time, thousands and thousands of years. We just didn't know. We just didn't know that they were here. And I think more and more people can see them now. I don't think that, they were visible to a lot of people, but now they are becoming more visible. Maybe it's because the frequency is changing. Yeah. Yeah.
To pivot the conversation to the real reason why I wanted you to come on, because I've seen, again, Instagram account is on fire and you're kicking butt out there. You said something about the cross that really got my attention, and it's going to hurt people's emotions. We're going to step on some toes and make a ruckus today, guys. So I really want you guys to be mentally prepared to at least listen to her and myself. This is not for entertainment purposes. It's not. I want you guys to be motivated to take 5 seconds of your day, stop watching ads on TikTok, and hashtag look it up yourself. It's not for me to tell you what to do. I want you to motivate you to educate yourself, guys. I'm a normal human being. I'm a sinner, dude. I was snorting lines of meth in my freaking closet, trying to think how to murder my wife before I became this guy that you hear today. I want you guys to understand this. I am just like you. I just want to motivate you to be a little better. I want you to learn how to control those habits and learn about Christ. The question is, sorry, I went on a rant there.
Love it.
The cross. You said the cross is a false symbol? Am I putting that correctly?
Yes, it's a false symbol. It's a dark portal.
Tell me,
okay.
How is this a portal, bro?
We're going to go into it. So I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory because I first learned about this in 2010. I was working with a shaman who's passed away now. He was an old man. He was an old shaman. In 2010, he was talking about everything that happened in 2020, like everything, who was behind it, who were the players, everything that he was talking about for years played out in 2020 and is still playing out. So he was a person who knew things. And he was the one who actually originally taught me about the cross. And, he said it was a dark portal. It doesn't represent anything to do with the true Christ. It was brought in by the controllers of the world as a means of control. And of course, I didn't just take everything he said and take that as my truth. I looked into it for years. I sort of sat with it. And, I discovered that you can research this, the cross that the Christians use is more of a cross of martyrdom and suffering. And it was invented by the Roman Church like 300 years after Jesus was crucified. So it wasn't even part of Christianity. Before that, before Jesus even died, before he was even around, the early Christians, they used signs like the cross. The Gnostic symbol was more like the Ankh, actually more like this. I have an Ankh right here. The Gnostic symbol, that's the true cross. And it's even proven that Jesus was not hung on a cross at all. He was hung on a tree. So the cross was, and that
interesting.
So when they transcribed it from the scripture into the Bible, in the scripture, it was a tree. The Hebrew word, it was a Hebrew word that meant tree. There was no cross. And when there was the pagan emperor Constantine, he was the one who introduced the cross like 300 years later. And he kind of it is said that he took it partly from the Ankh, but then there were also Masons that were involved in translating the scripture. And those Masons had an interest in promoting the cross, and it's actually part of their occult mysticism. So, it represents, it's a symbol. Symbols have meaning, and it represents it also represents the crucifixion of humanity. And this one's going to sting. It represents the crucifixion of humanity, the crucifixion of the inner Christ. It represents actually us being cut off from the truth and the enslavement of humanity. So it is.
Haven't we been exposed to that, guys? She's not far. She's not far. She's hitting points that I must amplify. We've been disconnected. We spend more time freaking consuming BS on social media than actually learning scripture, trying to walk the righteous path, how to be the most important freaking influencer rather than be the most important role model for your children, etc., etc. I'm not lying here. These are basic things on a basic stupid level, bro. You know? Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. No, it's so true. And if you actually look at the story, it's very interesting, because if you look at the symbolism, it's like it's actually playing out in modern time, like right now. And this architecture also has an effect on the light body, because it's not the true architecture. The true architecture is more like the Ankh symbol, the Gnostic cross that was the original architecture. So when something as a symbol is representing, and I know that a lot of Christians, they don't see it as suffering and sin and crucifixion. They see it as resurrection and rebirth. But why do you go into churches and you see a crucified Jesus on a cross? That is satanic. That there's no need to worship a Jesus on a cross. It is satanic, and it has the effect on people's consciousness and on their awareness of everything.
I must admit, the feeling you get from seeing a Jesus, you're worshiping the one that died instead of the one that resurrected. Put that into thought, but just put that into perspective, guys. I'm just saying. I'm not saying she's right. I'm not saying you're wrong or not. I'm just saying it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. They have, correct me if I'm wrong, they have connected the cross to even being, if you fold it up, you even being part of a Saturn worship. And the black square, the black cube. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So the Abraham religions all share that one thing, that is Saturn worshiping, and the black cube of Saturn. Believe it or not, that is just what I've read. That's intense. So imagine if this is truth. We have been deceived in the most horrific way. People would kill behind that cross, bro. Shield and sword. People would murder in the name of Christ behind that cross. It's nuts. There's bloodshed. Yeah.
And that's how embedded it is. That's how embedded it is into culture and religion. It's embedded into history. But when you actually go digging to the roots of where it came from, and that it was like 300 years later, wasn't even part of the original scripture, why did they put it in there?
Yeah. We were talking about this with my family today. A lot of people just, and this is the thing, a lot of people get manipulated. And you know what source? Do you know what's the first thing that they manipulate? It's not your thoughts, it's your emotions. Just like the mainstream media, just like propaganda. That's where they hit you the most. And that's why I said, before she even started speaking about the cross, we're going to hurt your emotions. Get ready to be open-minded and receive this, and just receive it and do the research yourself. I did a deep dive about 2 years ago. We did it for Christmas, and it's just a theory that even the Magi, the first depictions of the Magi were depicted in a painting where they were wearing Phrygian hats. And the Phrygian hats meant that you were part of the cult of sun worshiping in Rome. And I believe it was Alexandra. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. No, it's the name of the other emperor. I forgot. The point here is that sun worship, all these cathedrals, Catholic cathedrals, were placed on these other cathedrals of other little places where they would pray to these sun worship, to these sun gods, to this other pantheon of satanic gods. And by them depicting the three magi's in the Phrygian hats and being sent out as spies searching for Jesus and that star makes me think that they were out there on a mission to actually murder him. If you put into perspective everything that they gave Jesus as a little kid, they were all gifts for necromancy. They weren't gifts that you give to a newborn. So I'm like, oh, look at that. That connects. I'm not saying that's the truth, but if you guys look back into the archives, into the flagship of all the content that I've brought out, the episode's called Christmas with K4V3 Cave podcast. Shout out to them. I haven't talked to them in a while, but the data's there. So yeah, I think in symbology, bro, you look at all these freaking twisted emblems. You have the Nazi sign, right? The Jewish star. You have other little symbols, even Egyptian symbols like the one that you just showed out right now. They have an impact on you. You see the zodiac signs. All of the signs have a meaning. You have the Romans, you have the Chinese zodiac signs. They have like this impact in your subconscious, and they automatically make you identify to something that you are not. They program you. They condition you to think in a different way or like something else. It's interesting. So the idea of the cross impact your subconscious and being in a negative, actually having you behave a different pattern or being a little bit more docile actually makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very ingrained in people. I mean, the messages that some people will post on my stuff, you can tell that, I get it's triggering. I understand it's very triggering, and you don't want to look at that. But I think it's very important to question certain aspects of religion, where certain things came from and why.
Religion, not only religion, but also the people the people that are telling you how to behave.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends that have been like, Angel, you have to get baptized. And it's like, yeah, I do. I know. I hear you. It's a biblical thing. I get it. I have to get baptized. But the part about baptism and doing this ritual with the intent for salvation is hard to understand when someone like me, or probably worse, collects funds, doesn't work, doesn't pay taxes, and has people cooking for him in different cult-like behavior, tells me that I have to be baptized. So I'm like, okay, I get it, bro. I need to pay for the service. You need to pay the rent, the light, the AC, all of this stuff. I know it's very basic. I get it. But why now? I'm not ready. I don't feel confident. I don't feel like I'm walking the path yet. I haven't been strucken, right? So I get it. So you have to challenge the narrative, and I want to say, trust the scripture.
Yeah.
But even you said right now, the scripture has been tainted in a way. Is that what you meant?
So the scripture has been tainted, the Bible, because they took the scripture and they took what they wanted from it and they translated it into Bible, but it was also translated by Romans and Masons who had an interest in maybe slipping in the odd thing that wasn't true or changing a few words here and there. But their true scriptures can be found and read. So if a person wants to really know what was written, you would go to the scriptures, not the Bible, because some of that has been distorted. Some of that has definitely been distorted for their own interests.
Wow. Like everything. Music,
I'm doing a post about this week.
Oh, I can't wait. So if you put that out, when you put that out, I will be sharing. That is nuts, man. We've had some shows here. We've had some crazies. We've had some people talk about some crazy stuff, but by far, I've never heard anybody say that the cross can be and is a negative symbol that shows not death, not resurrection, but death instead. Connects very well. What's next for you on the way out of this beautiful conversation? What's next for you? What's next for your research? What do you have next? A book, perhaps?
I have a book actually already. I wrote a book on my background is in shamanism, and I have a book that I published in 2021, The Ultimate Guide to Shamanism. And now I'm teaching online courses, the work that I do, because I feel like this type of work is needed. This level of work is needed. So I teach that online. and probably another book is coming. I feel that is going to be something that it's starting to call me. So we'll see what happens when that happens.
For you to come on the show today and spend 40 minutes conversating about not only your future, but what you believe on, what your research tells you, means a lot to me. And it means so much, in fact, that it has changed my life. Not only because you came, but because all the people that I get to speak with, and all the people that get to engage with on a daily basis on YouTube and on Instagram. Guys, this information is very important. And I want you guys to take the time of your day, again, to hashtag look it up. Check out Rebecca's page on Instagram. The description is on, all the links are on the description of the show. And spend some time. If you have any questions, hit her up. I'm sure she'll freaking give you some information that might resonate with you. Tune into that frequency. All right, guys. I want to thank you, Rebecca, so much for being here today. This makes a beautiful collaboration. Where the people will tell the people where they can find you one more time.
So they can find me on Instagram, Rebecca LL Keating. I do have a YouTube. I am going to be posting some probably podcasts on it, and it's actually called the handle is Rebecca the Demon Slayer. But you can also just look up Rebecca Keating and you'll find me, and then I'll give my other links to you. Thank you.
Have you spoken? Thank you so much for being here. I feel like I could have pulled more information out of you, but I wasn't really prepped. I was more excited than prepped up. Do you know Brian from Demon Erasers?
I don't know.
That would be, if you and him got on a conversation. He's not only a character, he's very animated, but if you and him can jump on conversation, bro, oh my goodness, my full support. That'll be an amazing, you know why? Because he also considers himself a demon slayer, and he had the veil for him is very thin, and he walks this path where he gave me a show and he presented it with like so much relaxation, but his mission is the same, like to make people look for themselves and tell people who's a reptilian. He could by emotion, he could just tell you what's happening behind you or what you're suffering with, and then he starts praying over you. He's an amazing human being. I'm gonna send you his link. Reach out. You never know where you guys could go, and I'll definitely text him and I'll let him know what I think about you and how amazing you are. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you've made it this far on YouTube, help the channel grow by liking, sharing, and subscribing. And drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Peace.